going from memory. And then Rob Fontaine joined in. So yeah, it's like 4 to 6 p.m. Daylight saving time at the moment. I think that's it. So it's more unofficial. But if you want to get on Ozzy Pub in the afternoon, you'll probably find. Yeah, thanks, John. We had 2DX. It's good to have a reminder, isn't it? Yeah, if you want to get on in the afternoon, there's usually somebody around, and if there's not, well, you can run it yourself. Net, you know, you can just go for it. Make the net yours. There's no net controller, no rules. Absolutely no rules. Well, that's dangerous, hey. All right. Thanks, Scott, for doing early check-in. And if you want to have a chat, guys, you got time. We got like, I don't know, it looks like there's 13 minutes left. So, yeah, check in. If you've checked in, good. Let's have a chat. VK for NGO.
Good evening, Glenn. This is VK7 Whiskey Papa. Logging in. Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, VK7 Whiskey Papa, VK4 NUT. Thanks for checking in there, Ross, I think it is. We have you on the list, VK4 NUT, and the early check-ins for the Ozzy Pub Net.
Oh, thanks, Scott. Thanks very much. And I hope you're all well. This is VK7WP listening.
Yeah, no worries, Ross. Yeah, good to have you in that every week, as usual. Yeah, we've got drive time net on 61624 from 4 to 6. Glenn mentioned of. There's John VK3HJQ, VK2EX Paul, sometimes myself, sometimes Glenn. And it's their first runs it. So, yeah, it's just a little chat, unofficial net or chat group on 61624 on the Ozzy Pub Network on All Star. So join in. Okay, it's not only VK, it's worldwide. I think it's hooked into the Ansel network, plus that, was it the QSA link, I think, is linked in as well. So there's many ones, anyone and everyone. Okay, anyone wishing to check in early for the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NUT listening, please go ahead with your call sign or come up and have a chat. Yeah, g'day, Scotty, VK3KK, VK3 Kilo, good evening. Yeah, VK3 Kilo, g'day Sean, long time no here, good to have you on the Ozzy Pub Net tonight, and welcome aboard mate, VK3 KK, VK4 NUT. Yeah, cheers there, Scotty. Yeah, I'm actually home tonight, all night, so I'll be here all night, so thought we'd better check in. It's been a long time. Anyway, I'll leave it open for any more callers. Catch you soon. Thanks.
Might be VK4NGA here. It might be time to actually plug the net that Sean, VK3KK, who you just heard, check in. He runs the King Arthur Round Table Net on node 50522, VK3RBA linked repeater system every Wednesday night. It's a big one. It's a good net. You should get in. I try and get in when I can. And yeah, it's a bit like this net. It can go for a good while. But it's a round table net, and it's been going for a long time. Sean runs it on his own. Big job. Good on you, Sean. All right, over to you there, Scott. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, VK3NGA. Thanks there, Glenn. And yeah, Sean's net is a very good net on the VK3 RBA link system. So is the morning welfare net. It runs from 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Saving Time, New South Wales and Victoria time, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Queensland on 50522. Yeah, so there's another good net. So if you're a net chaser, well, there's a couple of good nets for you. Plus this one, which is a very important one, the Ozzy Pub Net. So come on, guys. Yeah, round one topic tonight is all about motorcycles. Yeah, if you've had any interest or experience with motorcycles in the past, or what would you like to ride in the future? One of those hover bikes would be nice, something you see like on, what was his name? That movie, Back to the Future, or Riddick's. Yeah, Riddick Riddicles. Yeah, hover jet bike. So anyway, anyone can check into the Ozzy Pub Net. Please go ahead with your call sign BK4NUT.
Hello and good morning. Oops, that's not supposed to happen. T4NAB over in the UK on the SDX Link.
G4NAB. Good morning to you there, Chris, and welcome to our evening at the Aussie Pub Net, mate. We have you on the list. Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll call you in as time goes by when Glenn kicks the net off in about 6 minutes' time. So we'll put a call out for any other stations wishing to check in early for the Aussie Pub Net. VK4NUT listening, please go ahead. Okay, guys, VK4NUT taking early check-ins for the Ozzy Pub Net. Please go to your call sign, VK4NUT listening, and good evening, VK4YT, who's joined us on ham.live. Anyone wishes to check in, VK4NUT listening. This is VK2EX on the early check-in. Station calling early check-in. Please go ahead with your call sign. We missed it. You're too quick on the mic. This is Scott, VK4NUT, for the early check-ins for the Ozzy Pub Net. Please go with your call sign. Over. Good day there, Scott. It's Paul, VK2EX in Dubbo. Back around here. Yeah, VK2EX. G'day, Paul. VK4NUT. Good to hear you on the Ozzy Pub Net, mate. I hope you had a great day. We'll call in as we progress down the list. Alan will be... sorry. Not Alan. Glenn will be opening up the Ozzy Pub doors in about... Stand by, everyone. This is Scott, VK4NUT, handing the reins over to VK4NGA to open the pub net, but I will receive any early check-ins until 7 o'clock. Please go ahead with your call sign. Okay, everyone, thanks for the early check-ins tonight. I'll hand the reins over to VK4NGA. VK4NUT listening. Over to you there, Glenn.
Right. Thank you, Scott, for doing early check-ins in the car park net. There was a bit of banter on the car park net. That was pretty good. Pretty good. So welcome to this Friday night's edition of the Ozzy Pub Net. Guess what? Scott and I, we've got the pub open. It's all a go. Grab your favourite brew in the comfy chair. This is Glenn, VK4NGA. If you didn't already realise, and I'll be tonight's net controller for the first half hour. Then after that, it's over to Clancy, VK4CGQ. Then after that, it's over to Scott, VK4NUT, I think. We never know. I mean, you know, it could be over to you if you want to do half an hour on as net controller. Yeah, just put your hand up or let us know. We'd love to have you as a guest net controller. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Thanks very much to the admin team from VK Hub and the Ozzy Pub Net. Great bunch of guys. Thanks, Scott. And Simon, of course. Simon's not well at the moment, so we're thinking about you, Simon. We miss you greatly. And I got Brent and Clancy as well. So great team of guys. That's how it all happens. All right, topic for round one tonight is all about motorbikes, motorcycles. Alert, alert. Should bring some stories out of the woodwork, I reckon. I'll just have a break. So yeah, we've talked about motorbikes, we've talked about cars, we've talked about food and that, we've talked about, bakeries and goodness knows, we've talked about a lot of things. If you want to know what we've talked about, go to vkozhub.com.au, click on the Ozzy Pub Net tab, and have a look. It's all there. Alright, where am I up to? I've lost my place. Oh, guess what? The Ozzy Pub Net's running also node 61624 every Friday. Can be accessed in many ways. Please check out vkozhub.com.au for more info on that. And of course, if you're already online, you haven't joined the All-Star Users Australia Facebook group and the Ozzy Pub Net Facebook groups, well, tell your mates and all join together because we need more people on the groups. We need to get the word out, get the secret out that the hub's alive and well, the net's alive and well, and All-Star is growing fast in Australia. Big thank you to James and the team at VK44.net who host VK's Hub on the servers. We very much appreciate that, that's for sure. Also to VK Direct, Lee from vkdirect.com.au for hosting the VK Oz Hub website on his server for free. Great price. Also a big thank you, hang on, just reset. Also, a big thank you to the Enzo Network, John and Robert and everybody involved in that connection. We very much appreciate that. It makes the Ozzy Pub Net reach out far beyond Australia. And also to our latest connection, which is arranged by Chris, G4NAB. Thank you, Chris, for the SVX link UK server connection. We appreciate that. If you're new to SVX link, then do a bit of Googling. Chris has got a YouTube channel as well, G4NAB. Chris is logged in as well tonight. G'day Chris, good to see you and thank you very much for that connection. And of course to you, the owners of the connected nodes and gadgets and phones and goodness knows whatever you've used to connect, high-powered hotspots, repeaters and everything, you get the idea. We appreciate that. I'll just reset. The net runs for 2 rounds. Round 1's our topic round and round 2's our 7-3 round as per usual. A big welcome to all listeners and thanks to those that have checked in and out. You're in the log, we appreciate that as well. Don't forget to join us on Ham Live, which runs alongside the net for chat, photo and info sharing. It's a net within itself on Ham Live. It's taken on its own life as well on the Ozzy Pub Net, so if you're not on Ham Live, you really are missing out. Check that out, ham.live, or just Google Ham Live and you'll find it. Of course, tonight, because we're at the Aussie Pub, please let the group know what you're drinking. Tonight for me, it's good old W2 Woodford tap water. I'm back at Woodford, and the tap water here is a pretty good drop, I've got to tell you. Of course, you're welcome to check in and out to get your call on the log, or you're welcome to stay for the whole night. If you can only do round 1, let us know on the fly, and we'll make the adjustments at the bar accordingly and on Ham Live. Don't forget to leave breaks of at least 4 seconds between overs. That way it allows the system to reset on every device and on the hub itself. Don't forget you can also double with other stations, and keeping that in mind, I'll just reset the timer. Yeah, you can double with other stations on the hub just like you can on FM repeaters, so just be aware of that. If you jump on top of somebody, usually we can pick 2 conversations out at once. We're pretty sharp, us bunch of net controllers. Alright, so I'm going to call for any further check-ins before we get going, and then I'll call for the usual bump up. So just stand by if you've checked in and you want to bump up. Hold on, just hold on. I'll give you a chance to do that in a minute. Is there any other stations wishing to check in? You've got Glenn VK4NGA taking his breath. Net controller, the Ozzy Pub Net, please go now. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't hear anybody. So, well, I think we're locked and loaded for the net. 22 check-ins, so it's already a big group. So thanks very much for being a part of the Ozzy Pub for this Friday night. All right, now is time. If you haven't already checked in and you want to bump up, check in and accept the bump. If you've already checked in and you want to be bumped up the list, now is your chance to do it. Well, each rotation of net control is every half hour. We'll ask again if you want to be bumped up the list, because sometimes people, like the net runs a while and people have got things to do, so we get that. So we're going to offer the bump on every net control changeover. So around about every half hour, particularly for round one. All right, so if you want to check in, now's your chance. If you want to bump up, and now is definitely the chance. Press that button and tell me who you are. All right. Well, no one said on the microphone, but guess what? John VK3HJQ has snuck in on Ham Live and said he wants to be bumped up the list. Scott, will we allow that? I think we will. Yeah. Yep. All right, John, you're on the bump list. You're number one on the bump list. And oh, look at this. Rob VK52AM has put his hand up to have a go at net control. Good on you, Rob. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, for sure. Let us net controllers just have a quiet discussion in the background of the bar while the net's running. Don't know how we're going to do that. And we'll slot you in, Rob. So, yeah, thanks very much for your offer. All right, so let me think. Oh, Rob, you've thrown me off track, but in a good way. All right, I think we're ready to start. I think we're ready to put the net into gear and go. All right, so first on the list is VK3HJQ, who accepted the bump up. Go ahead there, John. Glenn VK4NGA on the Ozzy Pub Net.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Thanks for letting me in. Got a bit of time this evening. Got to call the son number one and son number two at 1:30, so they have a net schedule every night, so we have to see how the day's getting on. I don't believe the size of that pizza. How can you make a pizza that making me looking at it?
Hey, John, we lost you there. You audio got a bit choppy, and then we didn't hear the balance of your over. So come back, please. Nothing heard from John, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe he's dropped off the system, but yeah, I'm not sure. So there's a bit of chatter. I'll just answer a couple of questions on Ham Live. So Ben through HOR is suggesting net controllers to chat amongst ourselves. Ben, we do have a Facebook, a messenger group that we chat amongst ourselves. But that's what threw me in a bit of a spin before, because Rob's obviously not on that group, so we can't talk to him in the background on the fly. That's all right. I'll call you in a bit, Rob, anyway, and we'll just fix up a time, or we'll do it on Ham Live. Anyway, All right, let's get going. Enough from me. Oh, goodness me. It's Scott, VK4NUT's first on the list. Who'd have thought? Well, we had half an over from John, VK3HJQ. I don't think there's anybody else except the bump up. So it's over to Scott, VK4NUT. Go ahead, mate.
Okay, VK4NUT returning. Thanks, Glenn, VK4NGA, for running the Ozzy Pub Net this evening. Don't know what happened to John. Hopefully he'll come back on and get his issues sorted out. Yeah, we in the controls, we got ESP. We think amongst ourselves. Hi. Okay, on round one topic, motorcycles. Well, I've had quite a few over the years. I've had an RD350 Twin, was the first real motorcycle I had. It's a two-stroke, twin cylinder. I think it was 74 model. It looks very similar to an LC 300. And then that was great, the old Yamaha RD350s. Then I had a couple of Yamaha 100s, and the first real road bike legally registered on the road was a Yamaha SR250, which was like a teardrop tank and a chopper style, but it went putt, and hardly up one hill and rides down the other. RD350, the Yamahas, but the first real road registered legal bike I rode was the ZZR Kawasaki 250. I had that for about 2 or 3 years until I upgraded my licence, and then went to a VFR 750 Honda. Absolutely loved it. So did the Ford Telstar that pulled out in front of me. He loved it. He actually wanted to make the bike kiss it. Sent me up and over to sent me up over the bonnet, over the boot, over the bonnet and over the windscreen, sorry, and 18 months later, before I could return to work. So I went out and bought the Honda Blackbird, the 1100 Triple X, so that was a lovely bike too. That was the last bike I owned, so I've had a few bikes, done a few miles, and if I didn't clock up 1,000 or 1,200 kilometres at a weekend, I wasn't riding enough. Anyway, thanks, Glenn, for the net, and back to you. VK4NGA and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4.
Oh, thanks, Scott. What a list. Wow, I hope you'll write that down. The bikes that really piqued my interest on that one was the RD, the Yamaha RD, twin-cylinder two-stroke. Twin? Yeah. Nice bike. Oh, they're so collectible now. They're so collectible. All the things that we owned way back when, and we didn't keep them, and now we think, oh, I should have kept that one. Yeah, that was definitely a keeper. They're very well sought after, they're very collectible. A lot of people are storing those, and amongst many, many other bikes as well. You can tell I like motorbikes. Don't tell my wife. Guess what? John, VK3HJQ, something happened and he dropped out, and we didn't get him. So John's going to have another crack at that. He said he was going to cue us what EchoLink, so EchoLink always works. All right, John, let's have it, because we only heard a bit of the story. VK3HJQ and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA, go again.
Here he was waving around and how could this kid have moved close and I beat me off. Anyway, I don't know where I got to. But anyway, quick story on motorbikes. My friend bought a couple of KR 650s, one was registered, one wasn't. One was an old one, one was a new one. So that was called the Generation 1 and Generation 2. So what he did was swap all the line, everything over from the Generation 2 put in Generation 1. At the start, with the start. 3 2 days later, we decided we're going to swap all the Generation 2 stuff out and put it back to Generation 1. Put it all back in again, it started, like 5 minutes, stopped again. And he said, okay, we'll go back to Generation 1, took all the wiring. He says, all the wiring, this is the whole bike except for the motor we're moving in and out, right? So shift everything back to Generation 2 again, still doesn't all go. Did a bit of something on the internet, 3, 5, 6, 10 days later, we found there's a resistor, a 100 ohm resistor is in the ignition switch on the Gen 2. And what that does, if you cut the wires, you used to just cut the wires and short them together and start the back up, well you can't. Because, this 100 ohm resistor feeds the ECU, doesn't it? It doesn't say wires, it doesn't start. So he picks the resistor out of the Gen 2 switch, put it in the Gen 1, and, behold, it works! Oh my God, what a mess that was. And a quick thing on QSO link, what a music, get on it. Thanks for Chris for connecting up all these services. And I've got all links on my QSO page if people are interested, and that's a new app that runs on Android phones. Alright, I'm going to get and call the kids. I'm running 10 minutes behind now, but go for HJQ. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, VK3HJQ and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NJ2. Thanks, John. Yeah, it's quite the story, that one. Yeah, good old 100 ohm resistor. Yeah. Sometimes it's the simple things that catch us up. Just having a look in the chat. See if there's anything in there I should be mentioning. No. All good. Alright. So where did we get up to? Before I call Robert VK2DY in there, just hold on, Robert. Stand by. I'm just going to see if there's anybody else who wants to check in on the audio side of the system. So if you've got a microphone nearby and you want to check in, now's your chance. You got Glenn VK4NGA Net Controller. Please call now.
Victor, Kilo 5, Alpha, Mike Hotel, but listening mode only at the moment there, hey Glenn?
Thank you, Ross. Good to hear from you. Our second VK5 representative for tonight. So that's good. And also added to the list is a couple of other stations. This one, VK4FSC, is now checked in as well. G'day, Glenn. Alright, so we've got 24 checked in. We're up to Robert, VK2DY. Oh, yeah, Robert. Are you a motorcycle person? That is the question. Have you owned one? Do you want to own one? Have you ridden one? Are they not the thing for you? This is what it's all about tonight. The topic is all about motorbikes. VK2DY, Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA. Go ahead.
VK4NGA, VK2DY, Richard It's currently about 21.5 degrees and overcast. And it's just out there at the moment. Anyway, back when I was a kid, I used to ride push bikes, but I've never ridden a motorcycle. I've never been interested in riding a motorcycle. So I had no experience on it. So I'm afraid that's my answer for my short answer. VK2DY, back to that.
VK2DY, Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks there, Robert. Oh, I'll tell you what, the good old motorcycle days. I'm still involved in motorcycles. I'm still riding. I'm riding again. Anyway, I'll tell you about that later on. Yeah, thanks very much, Robert. You've been one of the most regular people on our net. And if you want to know who's been on more nets than other people, there is also on the vkoshub.com.au website all the stats. It's interesting to look at how many nets there's been and who's been on and who's on the leaderboard, if you like. It's not really a leaderboard, but anyway, you get the idea. So yes, all right. Next over is Rob, VK5TM. Thanks for putting your hand up for net control, Rob. I'll put your message in Ham Live once we just get ourselves sorted out and see if we can. Not see if we can. We'll pop you into the spot and see if that suits you. Over to you, Rob, VK5TM and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA. Go ahead.
Yeah, VK4NGA in the group, VK5TM. Yeah, no worries there, Glenn. Good evening to everyone on the net tonight. Good morning to Chris, G4NAB. Nice to hear you again. We've been chatting quite regularly. Anyway, now motorcycles. Well, I'm not a real fan of two-wheel motorcycles. I've ridden quite a few four and three-wheelers. The three-wheelers are no longer around now. I think they're actually illegal. But many, many years ago, the three-wheelers used to be a lot of fun. Just, around a fruit block. Used to be able to get them sideways nicely. But anyway, no, I'm not really a fan of motorcycles as such. I definitely prefer to have some steel between me and the road. That's for sure. So I'm like you, Robert. Not a fan of motorbikes. So, all right, back to you there, Glenn. VK4NGA, VK5TRM.
VK5TRM and the Ozzy Pub Net for NGA returning. Yeah, I completely understand people that are not into motorcycles because there's a decent element of danger in there, so you and Robert consecutively, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I was the first in my family actually. As far as I went back down the family tree, no one was a motorcycle rider, and I was the very first to take interest. And at the very same time, I didn't realise, but one of my cousins, who was a little older than me, was also getting into motorcycles as well. So there you go, and still involved in it. My story is not quite as colourful as some you'll hear tonight, especially Scott's. Scott's was a pretty nasty accident, so he's but he recovered. He got through it, and as we do. All right, Rob, just before we move on, so if you do 8 p.m. till 8:30, which is, I'm going on Queensland time, I know your time is a little different, would that suit you, or is that too late there? Back to you there, Rob.
So in 35 minutes time, no worries, that's fine, Glenn.
No, that's 8 p.m. Oh, wait a sec. Hang on, let me just check this. Oh, goodness me, I'm looking at the group chat. So... Oh, yeah, that's it. Yep, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we'll lock you in for that, Rob. Is that fine with you, QSL?
Yeah, roger that. No worries. Just had to make sure. Because I tell you, these time zones are just damn confusing. That's for sure at the moment. It's not long now, though, till it'll all be a bit more understandable.
Oh, yeah, I really struggle with the maths, to be honest, and you guys are half hour different as well, so either advanced or the other way. I can't remember, and I could Google it, but I'm a touch busy. Hey, thanks very much, Rob, for chipping in. I appreciate that. It's going to be nice to have you on board. All right, now I was going to, what's the time here? 7:26, so we're nearly, that's Queensland time, because different time if you're not in Queensland. We're going to flick net controllers, so we'll offer another bump up when Clancy comes on board for his over. In fact, not his over, his stint at net control, but I'm getting totally confused. That's pretty easy. That happens very easily. Next is Alan VK4 AVN. Alan, motorcycles, mate. I know you love everything with motors and wheels, so what's your story on that? VK5 AVN, the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 NGA, go ahead.
Yeah, VK4 NGA in the Ozzy Pub Net. I think I'd like to stay with VK4 AVN. Yeah, Glenn, motorcycles. I used to be a member of a motorcycle, wouldn't say a gang, more like a group type of thing. We're all friendly and cuddly. And I used to go out on rides, probably about, maybe 8 rides a year type of thing, like pretty much on the weekends on a Sunday. And sometimes the biggest ride I went on, there was 120 Harleys, and it was fantastic. That's the type of things I like doing, and went everywhere all over southeast Queensland, well, the places you could go in a day anyway. And made a lot of friends and met a lot of people, and I used to have a really good time on the back of a Harley. And that's my story about motorcycles. Unfortunately, the bloke I used to go with, he sold his bike probably about maybe 8 years ago, and no one else was willing to take me, so I fell out of that group, and now I just get on with life and do other stuff instead. So that lasted good 10 years, that, and like I said, absolutely loved it. So that's it for me in motorcycles. VK4 NGA in the Aussie Pub Net. This is VK4 AVN.
I love that. This is VK4 AVN. I just can't do it as good as you are. I can't do it. I can't. And I've got Kobe, VK4 NGA second operator here. Stand by, Kobe. He'll get a go soon. So he's hanging out to chip into the net. Kobe's my grandson. He's 10. Alan just put up, no one can do it like I can. Absolutely, yeah. I like the group, motorcycle group here now. It was a comedy group. So it just doesn't go together, with motorcycle groups and cuddles. Maybe it's a modern thing. When I was young, the motorcycle riders sure weren't cuddly. Hey, guess what? It's time for a net control changeover. We've gone 7:30 local. Could be 8:30 your place. Could be 9:45 down there and 7:45 over there. I don't know. I don't know all the time zones. Hang on, Kobe. You get to go soon, all right? Stand by, mate. Kobe's, hang on. There's somebody else in the shack. Who else is in the shack, Kobe? Who's in here? Scott. Scott's here. Scott, what are you doing here? How'd you get here?
I just fell off the tree and rolled down the driveway.
Oh, yeah. Scott, he's in the shack. Actually, he's been here all along. Stand by. Said I better reset, going on. Scott's been here all along. We just didn't. Yeah. And there's a photo on the ham live. Scott front and centre, myself and Kobe in the background. So this is in my second shack at Woodsford. So I've got 2 shacks now. Well, this one's got more gear in it than the other one, that's for sure. Anyway, enough from me. Kobe's itching to say good day, so you you want to say hello to the group, Kobe? I'll hold the microphone down for you. He's Kobe VK4 NGA second operator. Stand by. We'll come back.
Kobe, hi everybody.
Good on you, Kobe. I was in the car with Kobe the other day, and we were heading down to Redcliffe. It was about an hour's drive, and Kobe actually had a chat on 2 metres with I think it was VK4 AJP in Tingalpa. So it was very nice for a younger person to get on the microphone, that's for sure. Well done, Kobe. It's pretty hard to press that microphone when you get a bit scared of talking on the radio, but you did well. All right, it's time to flick the net control switch. It's currently... Oh, we didn't flick from Scott to me anyway. Whoops. No, we didn't. So, Scott, can you flick over to... now, give Scott orders. He's right here. Tell him what to do. No, that's not true. Clancy, please. All right, so next on the list is Clancy, and he's already in the list for an over. So let's flip the net into neutral while we just exchange one net controller out for another. And thanks very much, Clancy, for picking it up. Appreciate all the net controllers. Everybody does a great job here at the Ozzy Pub Net, not on VK Oz Hub. All right, so take it away, Clancy. VK4CGQ, VK4NGA is on a break.
VK4NGA and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec. Definitely doesn't sound the same without that 2ROT repeater second tail, but that's all good. Good evening all. I am net control for the next 30 minutes, or sooner than that, who knows. And if Scott's at the shack, then what am I doing? I should have taken the night off like Brent. You two could have had a hand between us. Anyway, next on the list, VK4XC, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Motorcycles, over to you.
Yeah, VK4CGQ in the group, VK4XC returning. Well, Ozzy Pub Net on a Friday night. Tonight I've got a gin and soda in my hand, so that's been very nice so far. Motorbikes. Just can't remember a time when I didn't have a motorbike. So, right from a young kid with the old Z50 monkey bikes in the backyard, and I think my second or third ever paycheck when I started my apprenticeship went on to a brand new XT250, and that was the first ever brand new bike I ever owned, and that was great. That was in 84 from memory, so I really liked that. I've had numerous bikes, XR600s and XT600s, and got into motorbike trials for a while. So I had a Montesa Cota 340, and then a Beta Techno. Yeah, that was a great bike. I ended up losing partial movement on my left hand clutch finger on that bike. Got smashed up on a rock one time. But as far as memorable bikes, probably the most memorable was an early 80s IT490 two-stroke. Most terrifying bike I've ever ridden. Come close with a bike that my brother owned, which was a TZR 250. It was a cylinder two-stroke road bike, and that was terrifying to ride. At the moment, I haven't ridden a bike for quite a while. I still have one or two, but haven't ridden for quite some time. There's quite a few idiots on the road, so I've sort of let it slide.
VK4XC, still there? VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec.
Yeah, VK4 CGQ in a bit, VK4XC. Yeah, I'm done. I know I timed out, but I was finished anyway. Thanks, Clancy.
Excellent, no worries, mate. This is VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec returning. Alright, before I forget again, we will do bump up. So anyone who wants to bump up, call through with your call sign now. VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec standing by.
Yeah, G4 NAB would appreciate it.
Alright, G4 NAB was the only one that called through that I heard, so over to you, Chris. G4 NAB, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec and the Ozzy Pub Net. Topic tonight is motorcycles. Let's hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, thanks very much, and good morning to everybody. Yeah, professionally, in the job, I was riding a CB200. But I found a Super Dream 250, Super Dream 400, which I rebuilt. My best bike was an RT80, an ex-Humberside Police Patrol bike, complete with fairing and a calibrated speedometer. Great fun with that. Haven't ridden a motorcycle now since 2003. Unfortunately, I've got double carpal tunnel syndrome, and my lower arms on my wrists and hands go to sleep if I put them in a steady position for too long. It sometimes wakes me up at night when I've got no arms. I have to shake myself about a bit. Yeah, motorcycling, great time. Heated handlebars on the RT80, that was fun in winter. And great fun with that bike. Before I sign off, if anybody's watching my YouTube, or they've got the UK-wide monitor up and got the maps, you will see little red lights flashing where the transmitters are operating on the map. So you can see what's going on in the SVX Link network. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. I think I'll stay out till the top of the hour, but you are on YouTube for posterity. So back to you from G4NAB.
G4NAB, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec and the Ozzy Pub Net. Thank you very much, Chris. And I'll be honest, I don't know much about motorcycles. I think the only motorcycle I really know is the Kawasaki Ninja. And that was because it was in video games, and I liked the green that they used to have. So that's the extent of my knowledge on any sort of motorcycle. So I don't really have much to add on those on this topic, unfortunately. But next to the list, we got VK2 HAO, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec and the Ozzy Pub Net. Topic tonight is motorcycles. Over to you.
K2 CGQ, VK4, sorry. I'll get it right eventually. VK2 HAO in the group. Yeah, not much of a motorbike rider. The only thing I've had to do with a motorbike was when I lived down in Melbourne, the old school days and so on. I used to have a mate whose father used to rebuild what do you call it? BSA bikes. He had several fairly old ones that he'd done up again. And yeah, the one I was trying to ride, first time I'd ever ridden a bike, it was a BSA Super Bantam, which I ploughed straight into a fence, just about knocking myself out, because I had the main part of the fence, and just about knocked myself out. Didn't do the bike much good either. But needless to say, I didn't ride any more bikes after that. Well, apart from push bikes. But I don't think they're the ones you're looking for. Yeah, try again. VK4 CGQ, VK2 HIO.
VK2HO, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Thank you very much for your input, and good to have you on the net again this week. Next on the list, we've got VK2 IKZ, Isaac. Over to you, mate. Have you done much with motorcycles?
Yeah. 4CGQ. Afternoon, Clancy. Okay, 4IKZ returning. And yeah, thanks for picking it up, and g'day to Rob there. Rob. I've just been speaking to Rob, but no, Glenn, Scott, who's there, up there in Woodford. Scott, we'll have to meet up sometime, actually. Yeah, so, but you probably already dropped in on a Wednesday at the club. Yeah, and everyone else on the net, all the VK4s, John, HQ, else can I see in here, Ben, who's a VK4, Glenn's on that, or was, I can see he's popped up on the dashboard, whether he's there or not is another question. Anyway, yeah, okay, well, what have I had motorbikes-wise? Well, when I was small enough, I got with the Honda one, the Honda 50, I think CRXR, I'm not sure, one or two, and then the 110, that was a while ago, the Honda 110, and very nice, very good motorbikes, and enjoyed riding around on them, but no, I don't have a motorbike anymore, nothing, but I used to ride them around a fair bit around BWA, so I'm surprised I never bumped into Glenn. Anyway, there you go. I'm not even sure what Glenn's got. What motorbike he's got. I could see on his profile picture, and it's too grainy to zoom in. All I can see is blue. I do have a friend who had a blue motorbike. I'm just trying to think what it is. Was it Kawasaki? No, it's Kawasaki screen. No, I can't. No. My experience in motorbikes isn't the best, as you can hear. Anyway. I think that's about all about what to say. I won't be out for the second round. I'll get going. I've just been doing a bit of cleaning up though while I've been listening to the net here, cleaning a tiny bit up in the shack, but it's still very messy. Anyway, that's just how it is. Back to you, Clancy. Thanks for being here. VK4CGQ and the Ozzy Pub Net VK4IKZ.
VK4 IKZ, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Yeah, look, Scott and Alan, Glenn, they're all fantastic to meet in person. Got the chance Saturday just gone. We're up at Woodford Pub. Glenn posted about it on the All-Star group as well as on his Facebook page. It was a good meet-up. I can't remember if Glenn's already talked about it, but you know, we rocked up for lunch, and then Brent and myself had to head home eventually because you know, we were a good hour away from home, so we left at like a little bit before 7:30. So quite a long lunch as it goes. Alright, next on the list, VK3 MGF, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Tonight's topic, all about motorcycles. Over to you.
VK4 CGQ and the Ozzy Pub Net. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning to all. Thank you very much, Clancy, for taking up your little section, your little time. Yeah, well, what can I say, but it was a long time ago. A Honda C90 chasing cows down at the Ankles Farm, rounding them up ready for milking, and lit the electric fence and irrigation channel all at once. That was the last time I ever was in charge of a motorbike, if you want to call it that. It's the old postie bikes on the farm with knobby tyres. It sort of worked for a while, but no, it didn't in the end. The next time was quite a long year later, and we're on the back of a Suzuki Katana on the highway number 1 down here in Melbourne, and the visor, as being the passenger, pillion passenger, the visor on my helmet flipped up at around about X amount of speed and nearly ripped my head off. That was the exact last time I ever got on a bike. Since then, unfortunately, a good group of my friends are no longer here because of them things, and unfortunately, in this family, that's what they're called, things. So, yeah, it's great to be hearing so many riders out there that are still about. Probably a bit morbid, but I think you're very, very lucky to be able to have it. VK4, CGQ in the group, VK3, MGF.
VK3, MGF, VK4, Charlie Golf Quebec. No worries, and thanks for joining us this week on the Ozzy Pub Net. Next on the list, VK3 VBI. Wayne, over to you. It's all about motorcycles tonight.
Charlie Golf Quebec, the only one in my family that's actually got a motorbike license. My second oldest brother, and the bike he's actually riding at the moment, it's a Harley Davidson Saltail, and he won't part with it because he's actually been riding that since he bought it, and he's been looking after that damn thing for a long time, and it's not for sale.
VK3 VBI, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. And fair enough, can't complain about that. I suppose Harley Davidsons always seem to have a dedicated group of people. Alright, now on the next on the list we've got VK7 WP, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Motorcycles at the topic tonight. Over to you.
Yeah, VK7WP returning. Thanks, Clancy. Hope you're all well. Good evening to Glenn and Scott there. But see a couple of nice photos on the ham life there. Alan's had a couple of good ones there, motorbikes. Yeah, getting back to motorbikes. Well, years ago I used to have motorbikes. I never heard one mentioned yet. I don't even think they're around now. I used to have an old AJS. I don't know. It's a lot of years ago. I had it for quite a few years. Then I ended up getting rid of that and I bought a Honda 125. I used to ride that around chasing cattle and one thing and another. I had a couple of Labrador dogs, and there used to be one of them. As soon as I got on the bike, the Labrador was up on the petrol tank, so wherever I went, the Lab went. But we only used them in the country. I never ever went downtown on them and anything like that. But I used to do quite a few kilometres with them when I had them. I had them for quite a few years, actually. But anyway, it's all history now there, Clancy. And I will not be around for the second round either, Clancy. You might just, Scott or whoever's doing it might log that in if they don't mind. But very interesting subject tonight. Some very interesting stories. Always good to hear. But thanks for taking the call there, Clancy. And you have a great evening. It's been good talking to you. So VK4CQ, this is VK7WP off and clear. Thanks, Clancy.
VK7WP, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, for the Ozzy Pub Net. Yeah, thanks for joining in, mate, and good to hear. And I've noted you down as out for the rest of the net, so all good. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you again next week. Next, we got VK3KK, Sean, I think. Tonight is a topic all about motorcycles, so let's hear what you've got to say. Over to you.
Yeah, no worries. Good evening to everybody on the Ozzy Pub Net tonight. VK3KK here. Good evening, everybody. I've got a very interesting story to tell about motorbikes, and the interesting story is I've never ridden a motorbike in my life. I've never been on one. Never been tempted. They just don't interest me, to be honest. Never had the want or the need to do it. So that's my story. Never ridden one at all. So there you go. Anyway, not much more to add. I guess on my drink of choice tonight for the Ozzy Pub Net is a nice a Jack Daniels and Coke. I might actually pour myself a second one in a minute. And anyway, I haven't been on to net for a long time, so good to be back on. G'day Glenn, g'day Mark, and a few of the guys that I know. And Scotty as well, so hello to all of you. And those that are interested, I will be taking part in the John Moyle Field Day tomorrow. I'll be operating as a portable station for 24 hours. It's going to be a real busy weekend for me on the bands, and I'm looking forward to giving the John Moyle a good crack tomorrow this weekend. So if anyone's out there will be taking part in John Moyle, give us a few numbers, join in the fun, and test out propagation. It should be a great weekend. Back to net control, VK3KK. Cheers all.
VK3KK, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Yeah, look, I'm on with you with the motorcycles, mate. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but unfortunately for being a net controller with this topic, I don't really have much to add on the motorcycle side of things. But forgot about the John, well, not forgot about it, but the John Moyle's on tomorrow, and I can't attend because I have work and I've got other things to do, sadly. So maybe next year I'll get to it. I'd definitely be keen to give it a shot. All right, on the list next is Ben, VK4YT. Good evening, mate. Hopefully it's not too windy up there. Topic tonight is motorcycles, so over to you.
Yeah, thanks there, Clancy. VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec and the Aussie Pub Net group. VK4YT, very good evening to you and the rest of the admin team, everyone else who's on the net this evening, and also a very, very good evening to you there, Sean. Very good to catch you on this one. I haven't actually been over onto your net for a little while, so I should pull my finger out. And yeah, unfortunately, well, I'm not going to say unfortunately because I will be doing a little bit of contesting tomorrow, but in a very sad state of affairs, I wasn't able to get away and operate portable this weekend due to the weather. As some folks may be aware, there's a little bit of weather in the far north. A little bit further north than where I am. I'm in Townsville. It was up north of Cairns, and even folks in Cairns probably would say that it's still north of them and doesn't really affect them, but I think they're still getting a fair bit of rain. But yeah, so no, a few other things going on as well that I won't go into on the air, but yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of stuff from home. So yeah, I'll jump on, I'll give out some points and maybe do a solid couple of hours of contesting and do what I can. But then also have some family visiting this weekend as well. I have a sister studying medicine at James Cook, and they have a big mid-year ball or something to that effect. Mid-something, halfway through their degree, I think. So they're a number of years in and they have a number of years yet to go. So yeah, they celebrate around this time every year for the mid-termers, mid-whatevers. So yeah, so catching up with my sister and her partner and some other family possibly. So yeah, that's kind of my excuse if I need one at all. But yeah, so motorcycles. I've actually written a list. You know, how good is that? How efficient am I? So yeah, been into motorbikes most of my life. Dad was a motorcyclist. He has pretty much always had a bike ever since he's been old enough to ride one, and it's kind of rubbed off on me a little bit. So yeah, started out with a Honda CT70, the old postie bike, but it wasn't a red postie bike. It was a greeny coloured, like a weird coloured green. So I'm not sure the history of it, but yeah, it certainly wasn't a red one. I never ever rode around on a red postie bike, but it was the same thing. And I think we did actually have a red one for parts to keep it running. But yeah, learned to ride on that, stacked it many times, got a few scars and burn marks and whatever from stacking that. But yeah, graduated onto a Suzuki SP400. So yeah, stacked that a few times as well. Didn't go terribly quick, but being 400cc compared to the 70 that I'd learnt on was a bit of a step up. At one point there, I had a KX250 Kawasaki, but didn't ride it much, if at all, from memory, because it was an inheritance from one of my cousins. So they'd lost the sump bolt and found a random bolt in the shed that was a little bit longer than the oil sump bolt originally was, and actually ended up wrecking a few things inside the engine, because yeah, it interfered in some way or form. So yeah, we got it in the hopes of fixing it, and I don't think we ever did. I think it ran. We put the correct length bolt in there, and it ran, but it didn't run well, and pulled it apart, and probably ended up in the dump. So yeah, went over to a Yamaha TT600. So that was probably the most common bike around the house. That was Dad's bike for quite a number of years, until he sort of retired it. It became just sat in the corner of the shed. So I sort of rode around on it a little bit, inherited it for a short period, and then sold it on Facebook Marketplace of all places. But what's going on here? Break. I do feel like I timed something out then, but I was keeping an eye on the time, and I didn't think that that was going to be the case. So, yeah, and then over to bikes that I personally have purchased. Kawasaki Vulcan S 650, Lambs approved, so that was my first motorcycle after getting a real motorbike license. So yeah, one all of my own. So yeah, had that for a number of years. Sold it quite randomly. There's a whole story. I could spend another couple of timeouts telling that story, but basically went out for a ride on a random RDO, I think it was, a Monday. Went into a bike shop just to look at things at motorbike shops, as people do when they have nothing better to do, and ended up selling it. Old mate said, I like your bike, I want to buy it, and I said, well, how much you got for me? He gave me a number that was too good to refuse, and I had to get a cab home, basically. So, yeah, so that was fun. Went over to a BMW F850 GS. So yeah, thought I would enjoy riding. Turns out I didn't. Broke an ankle, got scared off it, and then sold it before I sort of got the bug back. I was right on the cusp of starting to enjoy it again. Had sort of got out a couple of times on it, and someone wanted to buy it, and I was like, yep, righto, good riddance, see you later. And then, interestingly, excellent timing for the topic, in fact, because I'm picking a new motorbike up on Monday. Another Kawasaki, a Z900 RS 2026 model. So yeah, very, very keen to get that one. With the way that fuel prices are at the moment, yeah, very keen to get on something that's going to burn a little bit less fuel than my current ride, a big, heavy four-wheel drive. So yeah, and I've also got around on a 1976 Z1B Kawasaki as well. Rode one of those to Mackay for a Kawasaki Z Owners Club meeting a couple of years ago now, and so a little bit of a theme there. Kawasaki, a few of those through there, as well as a Yamaha and a Suzuki. So bit of a fan. Couldn't tell you who races MotoGP, but do quite enjoy watching it. So it's kind of I enjoy it, but I don't say that I would be a die-hard motorcyclist, so to speak. But it's good to get out. All right, enough waffling from me. Back to you, Clancy. VK4 CGQ and the group VK4 YT.
Hey, VK4YT, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Oh, no worries, mate. Good that you've got a lot to say on that topic. You definitely listed a fair few brands there, so good to see brand diversity, not sticking to just one thing. But that's all good, mate. Yeah, you on the dashboard it said that you went to like 4 minutes 30, 4 minutes 40 before we had reset. So just quickly check that the SVX link and everyone else can hear me before we continue. VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec standing by.
All working fine, Clancy. Clancy, can you put me on the end of the list, please? VK5OMH.
And Echo Link working well. Yeah, Clancy, no dramas. VK3, MGF listening.
Excellent. That is good news to hear. And no worries, VK5AMH, you're currently at the bottom of the list. No worries. All right, we are good to go. Continue on. I haven't heard if I'm passing to somebody yet. Someone could tell me. That would be beautiful. But for the moment, we'll move on to Paul. VK2 EX, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec and the Ozzy Pub Net. Topic tonight is motorcycles. Over to you.
Yeah, hello Clancy, this is VK2EX. Yeah, wow, it's nice to hear all these nice stories out there. Somebody mentioned the AJS, and my father had an AJS 500 back in the day too, and that kind of got me started as well, but that was good to hear that as well. My very first bike, if you can call it a bike, was one of those little Jackson rock hoppers, little four-stroke thing, little Briggs and Stratton on it, and we used to go barreling through the bush and getting chased by police on the way home. But my first road bike, registered road bike, was a Z650, a 650Z, sorry, a Kawasaki Z650Z four-cylinder thing, and that was a great little bike, that thing. I ended up trading that in for a CB754, the Honda, which is what I did my license on. I actually went back in those days. We didn't have to have lamps or anything like that. You could, if you had your full driver's license, you can get on anything. You get on straight on 1000cc on your L. So I did that on my 754. I did my road test on that, which was a bloke standing out in the front of the RMS, and you rode down the road, did a U-ey, come back with that without putting your feet down, of course, and up to a road there, take a left, block, and come back, and he was gone. So I rode back into the RMS, and he handed a license to me. So that was the end of that. From that, I bought myself a GS 1000S a couple of years later. Had that for many years. Just reset this, and the GS 1000S, that was a beautiful bike. I had that for many years. My wife and I did a lot of touring around on that. Did quite a few good trips. We used to go away with a bunch of mates. We used to go camping and God knows what else with that. That was a great time. Then the kids come along. So my wife was just firstly pregnant, and we were expecting family. We decided to sell the bike and be around for the kids. And finally, when the kids got to the age of around about 17 or so, we decided then to get bikes again. And I bought myself an XVS 1100 V twin, which we had for a number of years too. Did some great trips. I got a photo of that on the Ozzy Pub Net page just then. That's when we're coming back from Tasmania, rode from the Gold Coast down to Melbourne, across on the Spirit of Tasmania, just resetting. And did a tour around Tasmania with a bunch of friends. So we had an absolute ball doing that, and rode back again up the coast, taking all the coastal roads all the way home again, and basically rode into a monsoon because it was the wet season going into Queensland there. So we got very wet on the way home. But that was a great trip. Had that for a few years, and that's when we moved from the Gold Coast out here to Dubbo. And I found the roads very straight out here, and very straight and very hot all the time, or very cold, very hot and very straight. And a fellow that I knew decided he made me an offer, and it was to swap the motorcycle for a car, and the car was a quite nice car, and it ended up. He asked me too many times. He said, "Well, I'll swap the bike," and I did. I ended up swapping the bike for a supercharged convertible roadster, a Mercedes, and I think I came out ahead out of that deal actually from what the bike was. And yes, I still got that, so I can still have the wind in my hair if I like. But that's the one the wife drives around now, so she kind of inherited the little black roadster. And if we want to go out with that wind in hair in the wind, that's what we use these days. But that was a few years ago now that's happened, so haven't really missed the bike since. But anyway, there you go. So I didn't have any major kerfuffles on the bike either, which was good, but they had some great trips and some great memories. All right, back around to you there, Clancy. VK4 CGQ, VK2 EX.
VK2 EX, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec and the Ozzy Pub Net. No worries, and thank you for joining us. Sounded like a lot of different models. Unfortunately, I still don't know too much about motorcycles, so I don't really have anything to add, but that's okay. It looks like there's been some good discussion regardless tonight, so that is always good. Alright, we are popping the net in neutral while we swap net controllers. We are swapping to VK5 TRM. Rob, who will now be your net controller for the next half an hour or the remainder of the net, whichever one comes first. Over to you, Rob. VK5 TRM, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec.
Yeah, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec, VK5 TRM, no worries there, Clancy. Very good, and thanks for letting me have a go. I done a few nets, but I've never done one this big, so I'll see how we go. Alright, I'll pass it round to VK2AYU, Daz. What's your experiences with motorcycles? Over to you there, over. VK2AYU, you still there, Daz? Okay, we might come back to him at the end of the list. I'll pass it round now to VK2JAX. Over to you there, Scott. What's your experience with motorcycles? Do you ride them, or you like me and don't like them? Over. Starting to wonder if I'm still working. VK2JAX, are you still there, Scott? Okay, we'll move on and come back to them. Thanks, Glenn. I was starting to wonder whether something had fallen down. like it does every now and then. VK4AHC, round to you there, Craig. What's your experience with motorcycles there, over? Yeah, VK4AHC, are you still there, Scott? Okay, looks like I'm not having much luck here. Everyone's bolted on me. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Anyway, round to you there, Ross. I know you can hear me. You're local to me. VK5AMH, round to you there, Ross. What's your experience with motorcycles? Do you ride them? I know you don't now, but have you ever ridden them, over?
Yeah, VK5TRM group, VK5AMH. Yeah, Rob, I can hear. I was actually going to go a bit quiet there, like everyone else does. Just you know, a bit of a stir. But anyway, it's all good. Look, my experience with bikes is pretty simple. I was young and dumb and stupid one time, and I was really big into bikes, as you may or may not have known. Hence why my boys are sort of like going down the same track. They found out Dad was into these silly things. I actually call them temporary Australians, and it's not basically for the riders. I believe it's more the idiots in the square cars that are on the road that don't really care too much about bikes. But most of my time was dirt bikes. The first vehicle I ever had when I had a licence, Rob, was a little Yamaha IT200 two-stroke little duck chaser. It was good for about 110 rather quickly, but that was about it. Then I upgraded to a Yamaha IT465 after riding around a mate's YZ490 one afternoon, and I thought I really want one then, but I couldn't afford it, so the 465 was the next in line. Unfortunately, I had quite a bad stack on that. I sort of like got a bit carried away one afternoon, and I was driving home, just minding my business, coming back from a beautiful little beach run called Como Beach. And I'm up and down the sand, having a good old time, being silly and doing what young fellas do. But I'm riding this bike home. It's about roughly about 25, 30 k's from Conway back to the parents' house, I think. And riding the bike with a singlet and a pair of shorts on, and my thongs. Back in far north Queensland, and unfortunately I come off on a corner and hit the bitumen, and hit it pretty hard. Last thing I remember was waking up in a bathroom of Metho with nurses with toothbrushes scrubbing the gravel out of me flesh. So yeah, I haven't really ridden a bike since then. But as you know, all the boys are into it. My young fellas, I think my oldest one, the 27-year-old, he's back in Queensland. He's in Moranbah. He's at the present time building his bike for the next big race in November 26. So yeah, I'll probably go up and watch that, and that's about it. VK5 TRM, VK5 AMH.
Yeah, VK5AMH, VK5TRM, yeah, okay. I've known you all these years, but I've never sort of known your stuff on motorcycles. I mean, I know your son Jack's heavily into them, and yeah, Dale and so on, but I guess like father, like son, they're inherited it. There, so no worries, very good, and the gravel rash, that really hurts. I mean, I've come off other sorts of bikes, push bikes and stuff like that, and the gravel rash is horrible. Anyway, no worries. All right, thanks very much, Ross. We'll give VK2AYU another try. See if you're there, Daz. What's your experience with motorbikes? VK5TRM. VK2AYU, are you still there, Daz, or we lost you somewhere along the line? VK5TRM for the Ozzy Pub Net. Okay, nothing heard from Daz, so VK2JAX, you still there, Scott? VK5TRM for the Aussie Pub Net. I heard something there, try again. Okay, doesn't look like Scott's going to come up there, so I'll give another call for VK4 Alpha Hotel Charlie. You still there, Craig, over? Okay, well, nothing heard. Now we're at the end of the list. Is there anyone else who wishes to check in for the Aussie Pub Net tonight? This is your chance. Go ahead, over.
K3 BKO. Check in, check out, listening only.
Okay, BKO, g'day to you there. Nice to hear you, and noted that you're check in, check out. So no worries at all. We'll catch you next time. All right, we'll go back up to the top of the list, and right, we'll go to VK2 DY. Round to you there, Robert. 73s, and thanks for coming up on the Aussie Pub Net tonight. Round to you, Robert, over.
Okay, 2DY here, Robert in Northwestern Sydney again. Well, thank you for an interesting net. As I said, I've never done motorbikes, but it's kind of interesting to hear other people's experiences. Some of the experiences confirm why I've never done them. But anyway, it's still a good net. I enjoy it. I'm sitting back here enjoying it with a ginger beer, actually. Other than that, good luck to those folks participating in the John Moyle. I think I participated once or twice, but never really got into it. So hopefully everybody who's participating will do well. Thank you again for a wonderful net, and 73 K2DY.
Yeah, no worries there, Robert. Nice to have you up here, and I know you're very much a regular. And thanks for the support to the Aussie Pub Net. All right, round to Alan, VK4 AVN. Your turn to 73s, and we'll catch you hopefully next week from VK5TRM.
VK5TRM in the Aussie Pub Net. This is VK4 AVN returning. I think you're doing a fantastic job, mate, and putting your hand up and being a net controller. The Aussie Pub needs more net controllers, although I won't be one because I can't even pay attention. So that's a good reason that I won't be one. But no, you're doing a fantastic job, mate, and very much appreciate all the admin team behind the scenes making it all happen. VK5 TRM in the Aussie Pub Net. This is VK4 AVN saying 7-3, and we'll catch you further down the curly cord. Bye for now.
Yeah, no worries there, Alan. Very good. And 73s to you. All right, Clancy, VK4 CGQ. I know you're an admin, but I'll bid you 73. And thanks for coming up on the Aussie PubNet, and thanks for all your support, of course. This is VK5 TRM.
VK5 TRM, VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec for the 73 round. Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks very much for jumping in and giving it a crack. You definitely didn't have an easy start with people ignoring your calls, but, you know, that's just the way this net goes, you know. Gets a bit late and everyone starts dropping off, but otherwise, mate, I've been listening. You're doing a good job. So we'll catch you all next week, and have a safe weekend. Enjoy the John Moyle if you're doing that tomorrow. And, yeah, have a good weekend. 73 or VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec.
Yeah, no worries there, Clancy. Very good. 73s to you. All right, round to Darren, VK4XC. Round to you there, over.
That's VK5 TRM in the group, VK4XC returning. Thanks for an interesting net, people. And thanks to Glenn and Scott and Clancy and yourself for stepping in, doing an awesome job. And 73s from me, and we'll catch you all next week. VK45, TRM in the group, VK4XC returning.
Yeah, very good there, Darren. No worries at all, and 73s to you. All right, round to you there, Isaac. VK4IKZ, 73s, and thanks for coming up, VK5 TRM. VK4IKZ, you still on frequency, VK5 TRM? Okay, nothing heard, so we'll move on. Round to you there, John, VK3 HJQ. Putting you in the wrong state. VK5 TRM.
Oh, hang on, this seems to work. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, you keep downgrade me all the time. Anyway, I put a picture of my old bike. My Quacker Z250. I rode it for about 4 or 5 years, come up it 3 times, and I thought, nah, forget about it, got rid of it, sold it, not for what I bought it for. And that was the end of my riding history. But my son, he's got, I think, 10 or 12 bikes. And like I said, we were just getting this other one up and going. He's got a DOZ 400 as well he was going to take to the rally. They have it's called open road rallies. People want to have a look at it on the internet. It's crazy. And he's heading to Tasmania too. Somebody said they went to Tassie. Well, Pete's heading here this weekend after next. Going down to open roads for the weekend, down to Geelong, on the Spirit of Tasmania, across the Tassie, week over there, riding around with his mates, and then back to Langdon, back to Canberra. Absolutely nuts. And if people haven't got on the SVX link, get onto it. Oh my God, this is just this app is just magnificent. QSO link. Wow, what a rip! I've been using for a week, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. You can scan all these talk groups, and wow. Anyway, thanks, Rob. We'll catch you for the Drive Time Net tomorrow. So whoever turns up runs it. See you then. Thanks once again. VK Trace JQ back to net before I bomb it out.
Yeah, VK3HJQ and the group VK5TRM. You're certainly putting some plugs in for that QSO link, that's for sure, an SVX link system, which is what I'm coming through as well at the moment. But I'm on an RF node. Not to worry. Very good. All right, moving on down to Mark, VK3MGF 73s, and thanks for coming up on the Ozzy Pub Net tonight, VK5TRN.
VK5 TRM and the remaining group, or should I say bar, of the Aussie Pub Net. Fantastic job there, Rob, jumping in and having a go and being tested. Yeah, being very much tested, you might say, with these stations not responding. I think there might have been one or two trying, but there was some other noise there that I did hear, but you do hear amazing noises in the background in places. Yeah, not much more to say really in regards to that, but I have been watching out the corner of my eye this particular game where they run up the ground and trip over the white line at the end. And it looks like there might be a storm brewing. We'll find out in time. Hi. 7-3 to all once again. Thanks very much to admin and everyone else, and we'll catch you all being well throughout the week, if not next week, and of course maybe just on the airwaves over the weekend. K5 TRM and the group VK3 MGF 7-3.
Yeah, no worries there, Mark. Very good. Had to wait for the ident on my system here. All right, VK3 VBI, round to you there, Wayne, 73s, and thanks for coming up on the Aussie Pub Net tonight, VK5TRM.
BIM, I think it was, BK Privy. Yeah, I actually want to make a comment about the photograph was actually taken of the five guys at the pub lunch they had. So the photograph was quite good. I know that's one actually who took the photo for him. That'll be an interesting question.
Yeah, okay there, Wayne. Which photo are you referring to? There's been quite a few come up on the chat there. Over.
One I saw on Facebook.
Okay, I'm not on Facebook, but anyway, all right. 73s to you, and now what I'll do is I'll put the thing in neutral, as Glenn says, because my half hour is up. So I'll put it round to you there, Glenn. VK4NGA, your turn, and while I've got the microphone down, I'll also say 73s to everyone on the net. Round to you there, Glenn. Over.
VK5TRM and the Aussie Pub Net, VK4NGA. Thanks very much, Rob. What a cracker of a job you did as net controller. You got thrown into the hot seat big time. You had a few no-shows. And I was saying to Scott, oh boy, we've given Rob, a bit of a tough one, a bit of a conundrum, but you pulled through with flying colours. Well done. So thank you very much. I'm sure everybody will be giving you a round of applause. All right, the Aussie Pub. So yeah, well done on that. That was absolutely great. All right, so and of course thank you to Clancy for CGQ and also to Scott VK4NUT for doing net control tonight. So we've had quite an arrangement of net controllers tonight. How good is that? Speaking of VK4NUT, it's over to Scott for the 7-3 round. Go ahead, Scott. Stand by, guys.
Yeah, sorry guys, half my Ava disappeared into thin air. Helps if I turn the HT on, eh? That's the problem about sitting in the same room with another radio op. My fault. Anyway, thanks Glenn for handing it over. Sorry, not handing it over, called me in for the 73 round. Rob BK5TRM did a marvellous job there as NCS, so careful Rob, we might have to put another seat at the table of NCSs. Anyway, it's been a good night, good net, good participants joined in. We've had 28 in and outs, 28 on the net all up, so that's a really good number. And yeah, it's been a really, really interesting night to hear the other stories of bikes and everything like that. I know the old three-wheel trike that, for farm duties. I was the first one in Redcliffe to ride one of those around the Redcliffe Showgrounds trotting tracks, at the Redcliffe Show. So, yeah, I wanted to drive the big three-wheeler, which is like the Bigfoot or the Big Bear. They're a short, upright, what you see on the shows these days. But yeah, the trike I rode was more of a laid-back style, like you see with the trikes on the road with the V-dubs. That's the sort of sitting position this trike had. So that was very good, very interesting. Anyway, good night everyone. Everyone have a great night. VK4NGA in the Aussie Pub Net. Thanks again, VK4NUT. Listening. 7-3 everyone.
VK4NUT, the Aussie Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Hang on a sec. Thanks, Scott. Scott's still in the room. And so is Kobe, second operator. Kobe came up with a good suggestion for the net topics. What was your suggestion, Kobe?
What's your favourite sport?
Going to add that to the list. If you've got a net topic, please add it to the list. Go to vkoshub.com.au, click on the Aussie Pub Net link, go to the page and stick it in. I'm going to put that in on Kobe's behalf. I think that's going to be a bumper topic. We haven't done that before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, tonight's been really...
Lost you, Glenn.
VK3KK. Are you still with us there, Sean, for the 7-3 round? Go ahead.
Yes, Glenn, I'm still here. VK3KK with the returning with the Ozzy Pub Net tonight. Yeah, Glenn, I didn't realise that was put to me, mate. I had a bit of packet loss from this end, so I'm not quite sure who it went to. So that's why I didn't come back. I didn't hear who you put it to, due to a little bit of packet loss on the system. Anyway, nothing more to add or comments noted tonight. Good to be a part of the Ozzy Pub Net. Haven't joined in for a long time, but we've finally made one net tonight, so it's been good. Anyway, not much more to add, Glenn. I'm going to have an early night, Glenn. I've just about got everything packed here, ready to go. So I'll be, I've done the bulk of my work already, so I've just got to literally get up, have breakfast, and off I go to my portable site tomorrow to set up the station. So we're in for a pretty big weekend on the bands. Should be a lot of fun, and looking forward to it. Thanks, Glenn. Back to you. Thanks for hosting, all net controllers, and we'll catch you all soon. Cheers, Glenn. VK3KK, back to net.
VK3KK in the Aussie Pub Net. VK4NGA returning. Thank you there, Sean. Great to hear you, mate. It's been a while. I know I haven't been on your net for a while either. I did call in recently, but not that recently. But yeah, it's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say. But lovely to hear you anyway, mate, as always. And yeah, have a great John Moyle contest for those that are participating. Scott and I might even have a crack at it on HF. Now I've got an antenna up out here, courtesy of Marty, VK4KC from Mad Dog Coils, another one of his antennas. Yep, if you need an antenna, he's your man. Anyway, enough of the advertising. Let's go to Ben, VK4YT, up there in the north, and over to you there, Ben, for the 7-3 round.
Yeah, thanks there, Glenn. VK4NGA and the Aussie Pub Net Group, VK4YT. This time on the handheld with a 4-minute timer, so it'll cut me off and it'll tell me before it cuts me off, so I don't waffle for too long. All noted. A few folks that are into their bikes, a few folks that are not, which is okay. For a good few years there, I certainly wasn't. But yeah, sort of the bug bit again, here we are, about to take ownership of another one. So yeah, should be good. The main benefit is how cheap it is to get around. Not taking into account how much it costs to actually buy it. That's a separate, separate transaction. You don't think about that, but anyway, no, all very good. Have been enjoying some Miller Chill beers, now lime flavoured. Now over onto the Jim Beam cans. So they were cheap at Uncle Dan's. Side story. Might as well share it. I was talking with some folks at work about, I don't fit into any of my motorcycle gear anymore. It's been a couple of years since I've put it all on. And someone said, "Oh, too much Jim." And I was like, "Yeah, too much Jim Beam." But anyway, there you go. All right, 73, and good to be on here, and hopefully catch you all back here next week. VK4NGA and the group VK4YT.
Yeah, thanks there, Ben, and all noted on the 4-minute timeout timer. Well done on that, and you beat the clock. Well done. Thanks for joining in tonight, and thank you to everybody, the remaining group. We love running the net, and we love chatting to you, everybody. And I was only saying to Scott the other day, we've sort of come to know everybody, that pretty much all of you are regulars, and we've come to remember call signs and names and, locations, and so it just shows how the net has grown, and us as net controllers, we we're starting to remember who's who, remember voices, and it's pretty cool. All right, moving down the list, we've got Paul, VK2EX. Gee, Paul, I haven't talked to you for ages. Paul is part of the, is it the Drive Time Net? I think that's what we call it. It could change names next week, who knows? Anyway, yeah, we got on this afternoon, had a bit of a yak. Over you there, Paul, VK2EX, VK4NGA for the 7-3 round. Go ahead.
Yeah, VK4NGA in the group, VK2EX. Yeah, absolutely great net tonight. Absolutely enjoyed it. It's Good Friday night activity, actually. It's made me remember all the things I've done over the years with the bikes and things like that, and all the fun we used to have. Brings back lots of memories. I sold the bike probably 7 years ago now, and when I swapped it for that car. But it's great to be in there, and great to catch up with all you guys again too. While I've been listening here, I've been fiddling around with the local repeater node that I've been building up, and it's actually working now. So it's actually linked into the network, and listening. I can listen through the headphones on it, so it's actually happening. So with a bit of luck, within a week or so, I might actually have that up installed in the repeater up in Dubbo here, which will bring them online as well. Righto, good 73 all. Great talking to you all. This is VK2EX in Dubbo, in downtown Dubbo. And so my nephew's wife, she's English, and she said, "Oh, you live in Dubbo," and I think it sounds so much better than Dubbo. So catch us later, VK2EX.
Thanks, Paul. Paul from Dubbo. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I heard somebody on, I don't know, one of the All-Star hubs or nodes recently. It was during a net, I think, and yeah, it might have been one of the welfare nets, and the pronunciation of all the towns were being changed around, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So, yes, well done on that. Yeah, great to have you along there, Paul. And, yeah, what better thing to do on a Friday night? If you're not doing anything, join in on the Ozzy Pub Net. We have a blast on here. We're a bunch of larrikins, really, at the end of the day. And we kind of know what we're doing, sort of. Kobe said kind of. No, we do. Yeah, so Kobe's pretty interested in doing net control. He's just told me. So that'd be pretty cool. All right, so we've got an up-and-coming net controller as well. All right, moving down the list. Well, we called in Daz VK2AYU. I like that call sign. AU. We called Daz in earlier and he wasn't there, but he's showing on Ham Live as being logged in. So we'll try again. Daz, VK2AYU and the Aussie Pub Net, VK4NGA for the 7-3 round. Go ahead. Nothing heard from Daz, so that's okay. We do, as Clancy said, we have casualties along the way. People get sidetracked or can't stay, and that's fair enough. So we'll try Scott, VK2JX from Tamworth. See if you're there for the 7-3 round. Over to you there, Scott. Okay, moving down the list. Next is Craig, VK4AHC. Craig, are you with us? Because we called you before where we couldn't, I don't think we could get a hold of you. Over to you there, Craig.
VK4AHC, yes, Glenn and the group, I am here. I was sort of listening in and out, off the side. I was on another net, which I wanted to get onto tonight, which I fail all the time. From what I'm gathering is the topic of the day was maybe what's your favourite bike to ride? I had a Kawasaki. I bought myself and my missus a Kawasaki, and we had a good fun on them for about 3 months, and I thought, I'm not too sure if I'm happy with buying my wife a bike, and if something happens to her, I'm responsible. So I took the gift away and I sold them both. Anyway, that was our biking expedition. But it was good to do because my parents always said, no, never. You're never getting on a bike. So I'm hoping I'm right with what's going on tonight. So I'll be listening in from now on, and I'll hand it back over to Net Control, VK4HC.
VK4AHC and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks, Craig. Yeah, I knew you'd be around about, so you got on the other net. That's good. Yeah, good to hear from you. Okay, on the bikes. Yeah, that's a fair call, actually. Yeah, it's a good point. My wife has never been interested in motorcycles, and I'm kind of glad that that's the case because I kind of feel the same way as you, especially if I was a road rider. I do ride some road riding, but I try and stay on the dirt. That's where I'm really comfortable. That's where I learned. Anyway, Kobe just said he loves dirt bikes because he has one. He's got two. Yeah, anyway, we can save that for another conversation. All right, we are at the bottom of the list right now. Just reading Ben VK4YT's comment on Ham Live. Oh, that's good. All right, last on the list of the 7-3 round is Ross, VK5AMH. Over to you there, Ross.
VK5, hang on, where are we? Forgot your call sign, Glenn. Must be nut, isn't it? VK4, no, it's not. What is your call sign? It's buggered, I know, I'll come back to it. Anyway, thanks for bringing us in tonight. 73s to everyone on the net, and Rob, 5TRM, mate, I'm actually very, very impressed you're still awake. The amount of times I've heard him call you in, and I know you'll be snoring on that couch by now. But anyway, all is good. And, yeah, all keep well. VK5 AMH, 73s.
VK5 AMH and the Aussie Pub Net, VK4NGA. Thanks, Ross. Yeah, I like your comment about that. Oh, well, that didn't come from me. Thanks for being the second VK5 for the night. We always like VK5s to be represented on the Aussie Pub Net. We can understand the VK6s because of the big time difference, but it's really good to have you guys along, that's for sure. And also all the other states, we've had many states represented tonight, and it's been a really good net. A different topic, one we've never covered before, and yeah, obviously some people, into motorcycles, and many aren't. So, but it's good to scope out, topics that might not be interesting to us as net controllers per se, but interesting to the group. So that's what we aim for, is a mix of topics that the group will have a chat about. So as we've said before, if you've got a topic, please go on the website and pop it in the list, because we pay attention to that list. We work from that list. That is our go-to for topic selection, for sure. So we appreciate that. All right, so we're at the end of the net. So before Scott and I clean up in here, it's a bit of a mess. Kobe's here too as well, so he's going to help clean up the Aussie pub. Before we pull the doors closed and lock up for the night, someone's mention about my website, Ross. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Ross, are you asking me what my website is, or is there a problem there over?
No problem there, Glenn. I'm just I hear you talking about the website, so I'm trying to work out what website we're talking about here. VK4NTA, VK4IMH.
Oh, good point. I didn't say which one it was. I normally add it in. It's vkozhub.com.au. It's the official website for the hub, so vkozhub.com.au. Thanks for that. You picked me up on a little blunder. I always add it in, but I didn't. All right. Any further traffic? We're going to close the pub. We're going to do it. Any further traffic? Any last comments or more information? Now's your chance. Otherwise, you got to wait until next Friday night where we open the pub and do it all again with a different topic. It's Glenn VK for NGA, and it's last call gone up on Ham Live, so we are nearly all finished. Any further traffic? Go ahead now.
For HJQ.
For BNT.
Oh, well, we got a pile up, so there was VK4HJQ. Sorry, John. Just gave you I don't know what I did. Yeah, a mistake. VK3HJQ and then VK4BNT. So stand by, Brent. VK3HJQ, go ahead.
I know what you were going to say. You gave me an upgrade. Well, you realise it takes a VK3 and a VK1 to make a VK4, doesn't it? I was going to say, don't forget the Drive Time Net. That's the official name of it now, because I can't. That's what me and Paul used to run this 20 years ago. And we had all of Australia connected, hundreds and hundreds of people driving home from work. Every night used to have a good old yap. So I'll just stick with that because I can remember that. So we go V square, 4 to 6, or 8 to 7, or 9 to 5, or whatever. Whoever gets there first runs it. So there you go. Thanks for running that, Glenn. Good topic tonight. I found a picture of my Z250, which is the only motorbike I ever owned. My son's nuts on these bikes. He's got about 12 of them currently. All out to race bikes. He's got a postie bike. He actually races postie bikes. So he bought a postie bike so he could race it. There's some rally up the East Coast somewhere where they race postie bikes. Couldn't believe it. All right. Thanks for all you do. 7-3. VK4HJQ.
VK3HJQ from VK4NGA. No, I didn't give you an upgrade. It's like a side movement. I like your comment though. It takes a VK3 and a VK1 to make a VK4. I've never heard that. I got to remember that. I got to reuse that one. Yeah, an AK on the only bike you've ever owned. Oh, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Good rocket, those ones. All right. Another person on the tail end of the list is Brent, VK4BNT. Over to you there, Brent.
Yeah, VK4NGA and the group. This is VK4BNT. Yeah, I thought I'd come in for the 73 round just for a quick hello and 7-3 all. I missed the net. Had movie night with the kids tonight instead. Not had much to do with motorbikes, but certainly enjoyed paddock bashing with my cousins of a kid. But outside of that, haven't really touched a motorbike since. But no, 7-3 all, and I'm glad it sounds like everyone had a good net. But anyway, back over to you then, Glenn, to close the pub doors at VK4NGA. This is VK4BNT.
Yeah, no worries there, Brent. Movie night with the kids, that's pretty good. That's important. That's way more important than the Ozzy Pub Net. All right, it's... That's enough from you, Kobe. Come on. Grandpa's on the microphone, mate. Gabby's getting excited. I think he's going to take my job. Gabby, you don't get paid to do this. I'm sorry, mate. You just don't. All right. Well, it is closing time in the Aussie pub. I think we've done now final calls. Have we done enough final calls, Scott? We'll do one more. What do you reckon? Just one more, just in case there's somebody there. All right. Any further traffic? Otherwise, we are done and dusted. Go ahead.
VK4NUT and VK4NGA. This is VK4 AVN.
This is VK4NGA with VK4NUT.